Hello everyone, welcome to ISM 3232. The title of the course is Business Application Development. You may be wondering what you can learn from this course. Before we move on to any detailed course materials, let me explain the title of the course. Basically, in this course, you will learn C# programming, computer programming. Okay, this is, in other words, this is a course in computer programming. But because we are in business school, this course is different from a pure programming course offered in computer science department. So this is a business application-driven programming course. So on one hand, we will focus most of the course materials on computer programming, no problem. On the other hand, you will practice the programming language by building different business applications. It means that you build some interface, graphical interface, which can do something. For example, we can summarize all the billing information of a customer. That is one example about business application. So I believe this course will be the first programming course for most students. So I hope most of you can spend enough effort, and I believe you will learn a lot from this course. Okay, let's move on. The textbook of this course is starting out with Visual C# 5th edition, which was published in 2019. So I'm the instructor. My name is Hizan. My office is in CRS 2067. Okay, this is my email address. So the office hours will be from 2 to 5 p.m. on Thursdays. I select Thursdays to offer office hours because in this 10 weeks, most coursework will be due on Fridays. Okay, so that's why I pick Thursdays, and I believe if you have questions, I can help you on Thursdays, and you can finalize your work on Fridays. Okay. So, but in order to be more efficient, if you do want to come to the office hours, please let me know, because sometimes I was just stay there for like a couple of hours and nobody's coming. Okay, and in this semester, the office hours will be offered online. Okay, via Microsoft Teams. I will post a link of this Microsoft Teams chat. Okay, which means you can join the chat during the office hours. Okay. For course evaluation, there are 4 different components. We have quizzes, we have online exams, we have individual assignments, and we have labs. Okay. The first component is quiz. So in each week, there will be a quiz. Okay. It is weekly. And I need to mention that we have midterm week and final week. In this midterm and final weeks, we have no quizzes. Okay. Each quiz will be based on the examples I teach in the lecture. So in each lecture, I will try to go over the programming materials with a lot of coding examples. They are very simple, but a lot of code examples will be there. So the quizzes will be based on those examples. The objective of these quizzes is to make sure that you do learn the materials in this course. Okay, you keep up with the course materials offered every week, because sometimes students may think about this is an online class, so I try to delay the learning a little bit. You will see that time goes very fast. Okay, there are only 10 weeks for this course. If you cannot keep up with the teaching materials, you may get lost forever. That's why I use a quiz. Okay, each quiz lasts 60 minutes, and it will be open on Canvas from Wednesday to Friday. Okay, so basically there will be 8 quizzes. The worst one quiz. Okay, the worst quiz will be discarded. I understand sometimes you may have emergency, you may have something different. Okay, you need some flexibility. That's why the worst quiz will be dropped. Okay. The last thing is absolutely no makeup quiz. Okay, because the quiz will be online. Usually, it will be online for 3 days. Okay, you can pick a good time and finish the quiz. In other words, I do believe I have offered enough flexibility to you to finish the quiz. Okay, so if you still cannot finish more than one, maybe 2, 3, 4 different quizzes, so I do believe you don't have enough time to finish the whole course. Okay. So let me explain the quiz a little bit more. I use the term quiz, but the quizzes are not mini exams. Okay, they are open book, they are open notes. You can use whatever you want, right? And they are not difficult, to be honest. They are similar questions as examples we learned from the lecture slides. Okay, the objective for me, why I offer this quiz, is to make sure that you learn the lecture materials. After you learn, you solve those simple questions for practice, and then you earn your points. Okay, that's a win-win situation because on one hand, I can make sure that you learn the materials. On the other hand, you get some easy points, to be honest. Okay, so don't think about quizzes as exams. Actually, I treat them as weekly exercises. So hopefully you can try to spend enough effort in these 10 weeks and learn as much as possible. Okay, that is quiz. Let's move on. The next component is the assignments. In this course, there will be 4 assignments. Okay, they are independent coding projects. Okay, you need to build C# applications. So for assignments, you have to finish each assignment by yourself. There should be no collaboration among students. Okay, remember, for each assignment, you have to work it with yourself. Okay, you cannot cooperate with your classmates. Another component is labs. Okay, so there are 7 labs you are allowed to discuss with your classmates, and you need to submit your work on Canvas by the due date. So what is the difference between the labs and assignments? To be honest, assignments are high-level, independent coding projects. There are 4 of them in the whole semester. Okay, so for a lot of students, they are not very easy. Okay, and you will learn basic coding techniques in the lecture. In my mind, there is some gap between the materials you learn from the lecture and the capability with which you can finish the whole assignment. Okay, that's why I try to design some labs. They are something in the middle. Okay, at first, they are not difficult as assignments. Secondly, you can work with your friends. You can discuss with your classmates. So for all the labs, maybe not labs here because too simple. For all the labs, I will even post a video, okay, in which you will see all the detailed steps which you can follow to finish the lab. So I feel that with the help, all the experience you gain from the labs, so it is less challenging to work to finish all the assignments. Okay, in other words, assignments is a very high objective, but labs are in the middle, which can help you to learn more from the course. Okay, labs. Let's move on. The next component is online exams. Okay, we have 2 different online exams, midterm and final. You can check the syllabus to see when they will be offered. So both exams will be open book. You can use whatever you want, but you cannot talk with your friends. Okay, you should work with yourself. Each exam will contain both conceptual and programming questions. For conceptual questions, I have posted review questions in the textbook. The answer to the review question in the textbook on Canvas. It means you can use those questions to help you to prepare for the conceptual questions. Okay. Also, we have programming questions. For programming questions, it will contain both simple and multiple line coding questions. Okay, coding questions. So for most coding questions, they will be similar as examples we learned in the class. So I will not offer you too advanced questions. So in the class, you will learn a lot of different examples. These coding questions will be similar as those examples. Okay. Maybe only the last question, only one single question will be a combination of one or two or three different coding examples we learned in the lecture slides, because I want to make sure you do learn, okay? So each exam will last 150 minutes and will be available on Canvas for 3 days, okay? For each exam, so in exam week, so the exam will be available on Canvas for 3 days. You can pick a good time in which you have a good computer, good internet connection, then finish the exam, okay? So there are 2 exams in the class, midterm and final, okay? This is course evaluation. So the next question is, what is the programming software? So in this course, we are going to use Visual Studio, okay? So for the whole course, okay? So at first you can install Visual Studio on your laptop if you are using Windows, okay? So you need to download Visual Studio Community 2017 from Microsoft. Here we have 2 keywords. The first keyword is Community Edition. The second keyword is version 2017. Why we try to use the Community Edition? Because it is free, okay? It is free for everyone, and all the functions offered in this edition is enough for this course. So the second one is 2017. If you check Microsoft website, you can see that the most recent version is 2019. Why we don't use the most recent version 19, but we prefer to 2017? The reason is because of the textbook. So if you open the textbook, you will see a lot of coding examples and the pictures which you can follow or study. So in the textbook, all the examples and the pictures are based on version 2017. It means if you are new to computer programming, then using the same version as a textbook will be very helpful, right? You will see the same menu, same interface, everything the same. You can just follow. If you use a different version, so there will be some small gap between the version 2019 and the version 2017. So if you already have some coding experience, this is not a problem, right? So you know the high-level idea. You can use a 2019 version, no problem. But if you're new to computer programming, using the same version 2017 as the textbook will be very helpful. Okay, so here it is a link where you can download the Microsoft Visual Studio. Let's see, try it a bit. Okay, let me copy this link. Okay, copy. Then let me open the web browser. I copy the link here. Okay, this is a link. You copy the link here. You will see that. So you will lead to here. Okay, this is a website in Microsoft. You can see that the most recent version is 2019. But in the bottom part here, you still want an older version. We have 2017, 2015, 2013, 2012, right? We will pick 2017. You will see this Visual Studio 2017 and other products. You click this download button. Okay, so you will be led to this page. Okay, this page. So you can see that they offer a bunch of different versions. Okay, so they have a Team Explorer Enterprise. So what you need to download is Visual Studio Community 2017 version 15.9. Okay, this is the correct version you need to download. You can see that no key required. But in order to download, you may need to register account on Microsoft, this website, which is free and easy. Okay, make sure that you register account, then download this Visual Studio Community Edition, 2017 edition. Okay. So if you are using Mac, so installing this Windows version is not possible. Okay. So you have two different options. The first option is you can use install VirtualBox and run Windows on a virtual machine. Okay, this is difficult to implement because you need to first install VirtualBox, then create a virtual machine, then you get a copy of Windows, okay, then install Windows on the virtual machine, which is complicated. Another easy option, okay, is to use apps.usf.edu, okay. So for apps.usf.edu, you need to follow the instruction and access your S drive, okay. Here, the keyword is access your S drive. Why I emphasize this? Because if you just go use this website, okay, the default setup is to use the server, which is not your local laptop, okay. If you save your files on the server, when you log off, all the files will be deleted. Okay, all the files will be deleted. In other words, if you do not use your S drive to save all the files, your work will get lost. Okay, you have to start from square zero, which is very bad. Okay, so let's see what is your S drive. Okay, so for Windows users, okay, if you still want, you can also use Application Gateway, no problem. If you do not want to install Visual Studio on your laptop, it is fine. You can use apps.usf.edu. Okay. So for Windows users, the first step is to install the VPN client. Okay, you can search USF plus VPN. Okay, you can get the correct link, or you follow this tutorial. Okay, you can see that if I copy this tutorial. Okay, copy this tutorial to my web browser. Okay, I copy it. Okay, so it seems there's some problem. If I search, okay, USF VPN. So I got here, right? USF VPN. You got here. So you got Windows. You just click Windows and follow the instruction. If you use Mac, you click a Mac link and follow the detailed instruction to install VPN. Okay. Make sure that you install VPN first. Okay. When you install VPN, you need to use the VPN to connect to USF. So what is this step? So after you install VPN and connect USF, so basically your local laptop or your local Mac, will be considered as a USF-owned computer. Okay, it means so USF it will give you credential, which is the same as a USF-earned computer. You can access to your S drive, access different things. Okay. Then you can map a network drive with the following path. How to map a network drive? Okay, let me show you. Okay. So this is okay. Let me open here. Okay. So if I so you open your Windows Explorer here. Here you got this PC. Okay, you find this PC here. Then you right click. You get this menu. Okay. So you have a bunch of different options in this menu. So you just select Map Network Drive. Okay, you select Map Network Drive. We get to this interface. Okay, this dialog will pop up. So and you try to select a letter. You can pick S drive. Okay, or pick other letter. It doesn't matter. Pick S drive. Okay. Then so there'll be a folder information. For the folder information, you go to the slides. This is the path you need to input. Okay, in this input area. Okay, which is I want to copy. Okay, we have US store files.usf.edu. Okay, then you put your net ID. Okay, net ID. So you can click connect, use different credential, because when you do this and click finish, okay, so a dialog is going to pop up to ask you to to input your net ID and password. When you type your net ID and password, so I have done this step, okay? If I click finish, so it will tell me that, so it's a replicate, okay? You can see that when I finish this step, okay? So after I finish this step, if I go to this PC, I already have this option here, okay? S drive, which is, it means that this network drive will be displayed on your local laptop. You can save your files or copy your files or manipulate your files on this network drive. Okay, this is how to map the S drive to your local laptop. Okay, so this is for Windows. For Mac users, you still need to follow same instruction to install VPN. Then you connect to USF. So the process to map a network drive is a little bit different. You need to go Finder, go connect the server, then type this SMB, okay, USF store, you store files.usf.edu with your net ID. Then you click connect, okay. So then you can connect to your S drive, okay. So these two steps will work fine if you have no problem with your USF account, okay. Remember, if when you follow these steps, if you get information from the system like you are not authorized to connect to this network drive, okay, you get this kind of information, it means that you may have some problem with your USF net ID and your account, okay. I cannot solve this because this is some issue with USF IT. You need to contact the USF IT department and they can solve the issue in 10 or 20 minutes, okay? So these are how you can access your S drive, okay? So in summary, if you have the Visual Studio installed on your laptop, your project will be saved on your laptop. Okay, it means that you do not need the S drive. It means if you have a local copy of the Studio on your Windows laptop, so you don't need those steps. Everything will be saved on your laptop. You will not lose your files. Okay. If you're a Mac user, you can use the application gateway, which is apps.usf.edu. Please make sure that your work is saved on S drive and make the backup frequently. If you accidentally save your work on the application server, you will lose all your work, which is very bad. Okay. In every semester, I occasionally get feedback from one or two students, and they told me that they made this mistake and they lost all their work, which is very bad because I try to emphasize this for multiple times to make sure that all the students will not make this kind of mistakes, okay? So something important when you work on the server application gateway, so when creating a project, make sure that the project is saved on S drive. So the server is not very reliable. Sometimes it can crash. When it crashes, your project may be damaged. It's quite possible, okay? So it will be very useful to back up your current work frequently. It means when you finish something, right, you can keep a backup copy of the current work and then move on, right? It means after maybe 30 minutes, if the server crashes, you can still use old copy. You do not need to start from square zero. Sometimes you may not be able to run the app on the server, so it is recommended that you install Visual Studio on your laptop, okay, if you are running Windows. Because when a lot of people are using a server, sometimes you may not be able to use it. It can happen, may not be very frequently, but it can happen. So you can also use a USF on the computer, for example, computers in the library, to finish your work. Everything is set up. You can access your S drive. Okay, everything is set up. Okay. So here are some useful things. So you can follow instruction how to zip and unzip a Visual C# project, and you need to zip the whole folder and submit the zipped file. So check your file before you submit your work because sometimes the file may be damaged. Okay, check if the file can be unzipped and opened. Okay, if you have any concerns, please let me know. So grading will be based on details. Make sure your work functions well. Make sure you follow all the required details. Okay, this is a brief overview of the course. Okay, so before we move on to the next chapter, we still have a couple of things to emphasize. The first thing is how to use application gateway. Okay, let me go to here. Okay, so you go to the website apps.usf.edu. Okay, if you click enter, you go to this interface. Okay, you click sign in. Okay, you click sign in here. You can see that for this application, I have already signed in. So if you first time use it, you may need to install software, and then you need to type your net ID and password. Okay, you sign in here, you will see this interface. Okay, recently USF has updated this interface, which is different from some previous versions, but they are not quite different. They're almost similar, right? This is a new interface. So these are all the available applications on the server. So for this course, we will use Visual Studio. You will see that. So this one is Visual Studio 2017, which is the correct version we want to use, right? So you click this, Visual Studio 2017, okay? So you will see this kind of thing. So I need to type my net ID, username, and password, okay? So you can put your net ID and your password. So I go to click submit. So you can see that it is configuring remote connections. Now you can see that Visual Studio 2017 is available here. Okay, but remember this copy is on the server. It is not running on your laptop. It is on the server. Okay. So for project, let's demonstrate a very simple thing. Okay, for the project. Okay. So for this project, if I click File, okay, and I want to create a new project, okay, File, New, Project, okay, Project. So there are a bunch of different options here. In the whole course, okay, we will try to focus on one option, which is Windows Form Application.NET Framework. This is the only option we will use in this course. Okay. So then you will see we have name, location, okay? We have a bunch of different things. So in this course, the first step for when you after you create a new project is to rename the project. Why? Because for most assignments, like labs or assignment, there is some required name. For example, the first one, Lab 0 or Lab 1. You need to rename the project before proceed, okay? So first one, for example, I try to name it Lab 0, right? I give Lab 0. So I rename the project. It is important. Why? Because if you do not rename the project, okay, after you find, I have spent some effort on my project, but the name is not correct. Can I rename the project? The answer is you can. You can rename the project. However, the renaming process is not very easy. To be honest, you need to finish multiple different steps to finalize this renaming process. Okay, so the best option is to make sure that the name is correct in the first place. Okay, that is very important. Here you can see that I tried to rename my project Lab 0, which is required for first lab, Lab 0. Okay, then you move on to the next option, which is location. Here you can see that it is C drive, user, my name, source, repos, right? So you may think about, I can save the project in my C drive. However, this is a Visual Studio copy on the server. Everything is running on the server. It means this C drive, okay, this C drive is not the C drive on your laptop. This is the C drive on the server. It means if I do not change this location and save my project in this C drive, my work is saved on the server. When I log off, when you are done, I log off, all my work will be lost, be gone. Okay, that's very bad. So the next step is to make sure that we can change the location of the project. Okay, how to change it? You click browse. Okay, so this dialog, project location dialog, is popping up. So you can go to here. Okay, you follow same step from which we can map our S drive. You go to this PC, right? You right click. Okay, you try to do map network drive. Okay, same thing here. You put S drive and type you store files.usf.du with your net ID. Okay, or in this time, because you have already typed the credential when you log in application gateway, you can just connect and sign in without checking this connect using different credentials. So this is unchecked. Okay, if you click finish, okay, I have done this step. When I click, so I got a different message. When you click finish, so you will be connected, okay, to the S drive, and this time you will see that under the location, your S drive is available here. You see here we have Windows C, temporary storage system reserved. The CD drive are on the server. They are not the drive on your laptop. They are on the server. Okay. So you need to map the network drive, okay, to this server, which means we can access the S drive here, then select the S drive. So you can see that this is my S drive. I have a C# folder, right? So here I select folder C#. Okay, now you can see that. So I have renamed the project with lab 0. Okay, so it is the S drive. It will be saved on the S drive on the folder C#. Okay, so and after these two steps, rename the project and select S drive. Okay, you can click OK. Okay, click OK. So it will take a couple of seconds for the server to create the project lab 0. Okay, lab 0. So the project now is created. So it's still taking. Now I think it's ready. Okay. So now you will see the project is created. Okay, is created. Why it's so slow? Oh, okay, it's almost done. Okay, it's almost done because maybe the server has been adjusted by the USF IT. That's why it may take so much time. Okay, so when you click OK, so let's see why it's so slow. So basically, when it's done, okay, if you go to this PC, and this is the S drive I have mapped to my local computer, okay. So I click this one, you will see this is C#, okay. So here, this is lab 0. You can see that the project, okay, has been saved here, right? You can see that. So the project is saved on my S drive, and it is not on the server. I keep my files. So in the future, right, when I try to submit my work, okay, I can just use the project folder here, okay. That's how you use the server to create a project and save your project on your S drive. It is very important if you decide to use the application gateway. Okay. The last question I want to introduce in this video is how to zip your project. Okay. How to submit your project on Canvas when you create a new project like this one. So you will see that it is a folder. It is not a single file. If you open the folder, you will see a lot of files are in the folder. Okay, you may be wondering which file do I need to submit? Do I just submit the SLN file or any files in this folder? The question is you need to submit the whole folder. Okay? The whole folder has to be submitted. Then you may ask, how can I submit the whole folder? The answer is you need to zip and unzip the file. Okay? So if you in Windows, if you right click, okay, so you have a bunch of options. Because I have installed a software application to zip, okay, I can pick. But if you have not installed any zipping or unzipping software, you can go to Send To. Okay, no problem. If you click Send To, so in Windows they have this option, compressed zipped folder or compressed zipped folder. Okay, if you use Mac, you have a similar menu which is compress the file. Okay, so here if you click right compressed folder, okay, compressed folder, so Windows, it will take a couple of seconds and all the files in this folder will be zipped. Okay, will be zipped. You see that when it's done, right, you have a zip file which is lab0.zip. And for all the labs and assignments, you need to submit this file. Okay, not any file are in this folder, but this zipped file. That's very, very important. Okay, you can just submit the zipped file. Okay, so also how to check if your file is good or not. Okay, you may want to double click it, which is not a good option. Okay, what you can do is right click. Okay, right click. Okay, okay, right click. So you have the menu here. So so I can extract here. Okay, you can unzip. Okay, you can unzip the folder. Unzip the folder. Okay, you can unzip the folder, then check that if the folder is okay. Okay, you need to zip the whole folder and submit the zipped file. Okay, actually on Canvas I have posted a document to explain those issues, how to zip and unzip project, and you need to submit the zipped file. Okay, you can follow those instructions to zip and unzip a project. Basically, in this video, we briefly review the basic content in this ISM 3232. Also, I show you how you can create a new project and save it on your S drive if you use Application Gateway. By the way, if you decide to use your local laptop with a locally installed Visual Studio, everything is okay. All the files will be saved on your local laptop. You will not lose your files. Okay. But if you use Application Gateway, this procedure is very important. Finally, I show you how you can zip a project folder, and you need to submit the zipped file on Canvas for all the labs and assignments. Okay, so this is the video for the course introduction. We will continue the course materials in other videos. Thank you.